I can't even lie. Like, SAO 2, the second half, hasn't been as great as the first half or whatever. But easily this episode is one of the best episodes of not only the second half of SAO 2, not only SAO 2, but Sword Art Online in general. Like, this episode really was impactful as hell. And in all honesty, all the build-up episodes up until this, them, having that little adventure and everything, while at the time it felt like, okay, just another, little MMO game, nothing serious going on. Ultimately, it helped to build up these characters so that you can actually understand them a little bit more, and also just make you feel for them. Because if you were just thrown into this, like, in 1 or 2 episodes, it kind of would have been like, but the fact that we had these, decent amount of episodes to build up to this, it really was impactful. In all honesty, I was there like, holy shit. With SAO, I don't really get like this. Again, there's been a couple of times where with like Shinon and stuff like that, I felt a little bit emotional, but this was just done very well. This was like one of the best episodes of SAO. Art and animation looked gorgeous, and overall the way it was done, it was great. So for starters, Kirito the Magnificent seemingly found out exactly where Yuki was located in the hospital and everything and told Asuna. And to be honest, the beginning of this episode did feel a little bit like unrealistic to a certain degree, where like the doctor came out and sat down to tell Asuna everything and said, yes, Yuki told me to tell you this, and that, but ultimately it was just done in a way where it was like, yeah, it feels a little bit unrealistic to a certain degree, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at the circumstances, it kind of makes it a little bit more believable in a sense that, she's dying. Like, this is one of the first times I think I've ever seen an anime in general that somebody was dying of a disease like that. Like, that's just something completely, like, very, a mature subject to touch upon, and to see that, it was heart-wrenching, honestly. The way the character was designed there in the bed, looking sick as ever. Honestly, it just really was fucking with me, because it was just really that damn sad, and they really just hit it out the park with this one. This was a fucking great episode, very sad and tragic, and ultimately it made a lot of the precursor to this, the foreshadowing, make a little bit more sense. For starters, a lot of her weird behavior where Asuna just didn't understand exactly what was going on, ultimately it was because of this. And also the whole thing with the sister thing, for the most part, it wasn't the most like, oh my gosh, I never saw this coming. It was kind of expected, but it still nonetheless was as powerful as ever when we find out that she had a sister that was like that as well. And like, I mean, if you think about it, they were really like just trying to live out even the smallest of dreams, and that just goes to show that, sometimes people just want to make an impact, even if it's in the smallest way, and to them, getting that trophy and, defeating that boss was their way of making their impact on the world. And to hear that just multiple members of the group were dying and everything is just one of the most fucking tragic. Like, Shinon has some fucked up shit in her life, but I don't think anything that happened in the beginning of SAO 2 really just was on this level of emotional intensity and just this level of fucked up, man. It's just so goddamn tragic. And parts of this episode definitely sounded like stuff that the real world should have, like this Medicube boy thing that they're testing on her, where basically she doesn't feel anything, and ultimately, like, she can just enjoy the remainder of her life up until the end while being in the game and everything. While, yeah, technically, she's trapped in this game because, like, she's been in there for, what, 3 years now? Ultimately, I think that that's a great thing in a sense of, like, for even the real world someday. If the real world can actually get something like that, that's amazing, because, like, yeah, your body is all fucked up and everything, but at the very least, you can enjoy the remainder of your life going on adventures and everything. And honestly, this episode, there's not much that really needs to be said other than it's tragic as hell. All the foreshadowing made sense and led up to this, and I can't believe that something went this route, because there's been dark, I've seen all sorts of dark things in anime and manga, but this one was the most realistic, real world one, in a sense of just a problem like that. People are affected of that every day. So to see that in anime and mixed in with the SAO elements of like her trying to live out her life in, this game and everything, it was really sad, honestly. And with all that being said, I'm giving this one 9.5 out of 10. One of the best episodes of SAO in general. The stuff in the beginning, again, it felt a little bit like slightly unrealistic with the doctor and Kirito finding everything out coincidentally, but ultimately it was just done very well to a sense. Like, yeah, it felt slightly unbelievable in the beginning, but everything after that was just, it was tragic. It was emotional, and again, done very well. Let me know what you thought of this episode. What do you think about, just seeing what Yuki's been through? Did it kind of feel like it hit close to home? Not in a sense, even if you don't have like a family member or a friend or anything that's been through something like that. Just the fact that that's something that in the real world people suffer through every day. Did you feel like, wow, this is, it feels real? And how did you feel about Yuki and Asuna and everything? In all honesty, like, this is easily the best moments Asuna's had in the entire series. Like, I don't remember a moment like this where I was like, wow, Asuna really did something amazing and changed the life. And I sound like I'm about to cry, but yeah. And you're both thoughts of the episode, but that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.